Hallo zusammen! Today I'm gonna be reacting to Demon's Souls on PS5, which I haven't done before. I've never played Demon's Souls in my life, yet I only know a little bit about the game, if any at all, and I have only seen a trailer of this a couple of months ago, but that was about it, so I'm gonna be reacting to this, but I'm also gonna explain a few linguistic things that might be interesting to you guys. I guess the fact you clicked on this video might also mean that you're as interested in the German language as I am. So let's react to this, but also react to this from a linguistics perspective. What is interesting about Demon's Souls in German for PlayStation 5? Let's go. Am ersten Tag erhielt der Mensch eine Seele und mit ihr Klarheit. Am zweiten Tag wurde auf der Erde ein unwiderrufliches Übel freigesetzt. Ein seelenverschlingender Dämon. This looks so gorgeous. Wunderschön. Beautiful. And the music. Wow. I'm a big fan of this kind of setting, by the way, with Knights, Ritter, der Ritter Singular, die Ritter Plural, and that kind of, you know, medieval stuff. Which would be das Mittelalter. Wow. Das Schwert wird dir, glaube ich, nicht helfen. Dann lieber mit Pfeile und Bogen. Nice. The Dragon, der Drachen, Singular, die Drachen, Plural. Or was it a dragon? Looked like one. Might have been der Dämon, though. Whoa. Wow. Alright. Well, that definitely escalated quickly. His mouth especially really reminded me of the Alien a little bit in Alien, like the movies and the game, for instance, Alien Isolation. Great game, by the way. So I was really intrigued by that. The whole design and the look of this game, the graphics. I mean, honestly. And that is like a console, right? We also have to keep that in mind. Beliebige Taste drücken. Well, that is pretty much the German equivalent to press any key, press the any key. Beliebig is a term that pretty much means doesn't matter what you choose, you press, it will work anyway. And it's also die Taste, Singular, die Tasten, Plural. A really, really basic term when it comes to video games. And of course you also have to do something with a key, you have to press it, drücken. Okay, so this is as basic of a menu as you can have it, I guess, but it works. You can either choose to select Neues Spiel, New Game, for das Spiel, Singular, die Spiele, Plural, and Einstellungen, Settings, die Einstellung, Singular, die Einstellungen, Plural, and this whole thing that you're seeing here is das Menü, Singular, die Menüs, Plural. You know, I love that stuff. I'm really into medieval settings, so yes, love it.
Indem die Macht der Seelen kanalisierte, brachte König Aland XII. Seinem Königreich im Norden, Boletaria, beispiellosen Wohlstand.
Yeah. Quite a tricky sentence for German learners, I guess, because there is like an insert section in it. Der Einschub. If that makes sense, because it doesn't really start the way you might recognize a German sentence with the subject. It actually starts with a conjunction, in dem. It pretty much conveys the basic outline of this whole story and the world we're dealing with here by using a very expressive outline linguistically.
Bis zu dem Tag, als dichter, farbloser Nebel über das ganze Land fiel.
As you might be able to tell from the look of the sentence and its structure, it's not the typical sentence you have in everyday German. Because it begins differently once again, not with the subject, but rather as just being a subordinate clause. Der Nebensatz. That is a very, very common stylistic approach and stylistic device in order to really evoke tension and also general interest when it comes to the world and what is happening, what is taking place, what actually is the reason behind all of this.
Oletaria wurde von der Außenwelt abgeschnitten. Und wer sich in den dichten Nebel hineinwagte, ward nie mehr gesehen.
Ooh, really like the German voice acting, by the way. Great, great delivery here. There is one word in particular which I want to point out here, which is ward in the last line, in the second line, because that is a term that is so typical for really poetic writing in German and lyrical writing even, expressive writing, because ward isn't a verb or like a form of a verb which would get used nowadays. No. It's pretty much outdated. It's old-fashioned. It's poetic that way. It really stands out as being poetic and different to how Germans would express themselves these days. Because instead of ward, they would probably say wurde. Today, people would actually say, und wer sich in den dichten Nebel hineinwagte, wurde nie mehr gesehen. So it's not ward, but wurde.
Doch Völlafex von den königlichen Zwillingsfängen konnte dem Nebel entkommen und klagte der Welt Oletarias Leid.
Yeah, once again, Leid klagen would be the verbal phrase here. And again, it's a very outdated thing. You wouldn't say that these days.
Die Dämonen machen Jagd auf Menschen und stehlen ihre Seelen. Wer seine Seele verliert, verliert auch den Verstand.
Yeah. Of course, two terms that need to be mentioned in this specific context is der Dämon, singular, die Dämonen, plural. So it's not demon in German, it's Dämon. In Dämonen, the stressing is on the penultimate syllable, which means second to last syllable, Dämonen, so on the O. But of course, since that isn't there in the singular form, it's just Dämon, and there the stressing rather is on the on the umlaut Dämon. And the other term I also really need to talk about, of course, for obvious reasons, is die Seele, singular, die Seelen, plural. You might see and you might have noticed the double E. That usually always means that this would get stressed. It would be pronounced as a long vowel.
Starke Krieger, den Verlockungen erlegen, wagten sich durch den Riss in das verfluchte Land. Doch keiner kehrte zurück.
I really like the choice of words here, honestly. Verflucht, something like cursed, the cursed land, das verfluchte Land. In combination with the incredible intonation by this voice actress, awesome. And I could be wrong, but if you know the PS4 remake of Medieval, the classic PS1 game with Sir Daniel Fortescue, I love that game by the way, great remake. In the German version, I could be wrong, but it seems to be the same voice actress for like the books in Medieval. Thumbs up because I really enjoyed that, and I also enjoy this.
Skirver der Vagabund. Die sechste heilige Astraea mit ihrem Ritter Garl Vinland.
And there we have it, Ritter.
Und Freyk, der weise Hellseher.
You might have noticed something with the term Ritter, which is really, really typical for pretty much all German nouns, especially that end in er, er. When a noun ends in er, in that recurring suffix, Germans usually pronounce it like, or verbalize it like an a sound, and not er. It's not Ritter, but it's Ritter. As someone who isn't really familiar with the Souls games at all, like too much yet, I'm really intrigued by the repeated mention of der dichte Nebel, the thick or dense fog or mist. for der Nebel, Singular, die Nebel, Plural.
Tapfere Seele, die den Tod nicht fürchtet.
A brave soul.
Ich werde euch zum Riss führen.
Der Riss, Singular,
Sodass
die
ihr das
Risse, Plural.
Uralte wieder in Schlaf versetzen könnt.
Okay. So he gets help from like an otherworldly creature of sorts? Außenpostendurchgang. Interesting here, you can see the double S in Außenposten in the first term here. Usually that would be spelled with a sharp S, an SZ, right? And not with double S, but for the sake of using this font and fonts in general, because there is no really beautiful looking capitalized sharp S in most fonts, they chose to spell it this way with double S instead of DSZ. Not wrong, but just something to take note of, I think. I think the whole lighting and, well, die Belichtung, the illumination in a game is one of the most underrated aspects when it comes to gaming development and stuff, because that really is so important to a thick and really cool atmosphere. Oh! Der Kampf, Singular, die Kämpfe, Plural, the fight, the battle. Huh. Destroy everything. Zerstöre alles. Or, as Rammstein might say, ich muss zerstören, doch es darf nicht mir gehören. I need to destroy, but it mustn't be mine. Blocken, to block. I really like how, like, comparably easy it looks right at the beginning, but I know for a fact that it won't stay this way, so... I'm really intrigued by all this, and I will definitely play that at some point. I don't know if I'll be good at it, most probably not, not gonna lie, but might as well have fun. So this whole section right here takes place at a Ruine. Die Ruine, Singular, die Ruinen, Plural, the ruin. And I've always loved abandoned, lost places, right? Dilapidated places, castle ruins and stuff. Because there are also some in my town actually, where I'm from. Really cool. Seems to be sort of a like lock-on fighting system, if I'm not mistaken. Well, in terms of the camera and its position in relation to the player and the character. So yeah, definitely might be. By the way, another common German linguistic mistake when it comes to video games and Germans referring to their characters and what they have, in this case, the shield, right? Germans usually tend to say das Schild in this case. Not correct, because in this case it's der Schild, Singular, die Schilde, Plural. And in the other case it would be die Schilder with an R at the end. So das Schild is a general term for any kinds of signs you might see on the street, like street signs, road signs, whatever. That kind of stuff. Those kinds of signs. That would be das Schild. But this kind of blocking device you have is der Schild. It's a masculine noun. Isn't this also one of those games where when you die, you get like resurrected as a different person in a way? Like with a different soul? Isn't that how it works? Because I think I read that somewhere. Go get him! Yes! Nice. You definitely need some Geduld for this, for some battles, for some fights. Die Geduld. And I don't think there is a plural term. No, I don't think so. The patience. Wow. Vorhutdämon. Du bist gestorben. You have died.
Seele der Verlorenen aus ihrem Gefäß entnommen. Gewährt eure Stärke, auf dass die Welt geheilt werde. Seele der Verlorenen aus ihrem Gefäß entnommen.
Oh, this seems to be das Ritual.
Gewährt eure Stärke, auf dass die Welt geheilt werde. Auf dass die Welt geheilt werde.
Chills. Die Gänsehaut. Chicken, like the goose skin in German.
Dies ist der Nexus. Er hält den Norden Boletarias zusammen.
Wow.
Ihr könnt den Nexus nicht verlassen, aber die 5 Keilsteine führen euch in die äußeren Länder.
Du bist gestorben und deine Seele ist im Nexus gefangen, aus dem es kein Entrinnen gibt. Awesome! Yeah, you have died and your soul is kept locked in the Nexus and there is no escape from it. Awesome, ja. Yeah. Indem du jedoch Dämonenseelen erbeutest, kannst du deinen Körper wiedererlangen. Ah, okay. So. Okay, now I get it. Alright. So this is basically the equivalent to die Unterwelt, the underworld, where the lost souls, the dead people actually go to.
Oh, ihr seid wohl auch durch den Riss geschlüpft, nicht wahr? Kamt ihr wegen der Dämonenseelen? Oder um dieses Land zu retten und als Held verehrt zu werden? Ihr jagt Dämonen? Dann versucht es bei den Keilsteinen. Nun geht. Deshalb kamt ihr doch her, nicht wahr? In das verfluchte Boletaria.
Once again, pretty cool German voice acting. I've also made a video about German voice acting and how great it is in Cyberpunk 2077. There are a lot of negative things that can be said about the promotion of this game and how it was actually released, you know. But the German voice acting in Cyberpunk, top notch. And what I've heard so far in this one, also really, really good. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you learned something, you found this entertaining. It's also cool for me because I can check out new games or like show you games that I know, and we both benefit from it. So yeah, really enjoy this. Really, really enjoying this. Hope you do too. Let me know in the comments and feel free to share this video if you liked it. Yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. I'm your Vlog Dave. Tschüss und bis zum nächsten Mal.